Failure no longer is something to be ashamed of. Failure is no longer something that you have to get down on yourself for, or be upset about, or judge yourself. Failure is a gift. Every failure we experience, every wrong step will be a step closer to where you really want to go. Welcome to Point to Rise, your podcast that gives you permission to dream big, take messy action, and turn your talent into profit while turning your back on perfection. My name is Susanne Talks, high performance and mindset coach, former international ballerina, profitable entrepreneur, and founder of Point to Rise, a movement designed to empower dancers. It is my mission to use my own story as an inspiration for today's generation of dancers. And now sit back, stretch, warm up, or sip your coffee and love learning how much it matters to point at yourself first to rise to all that you are capable of. Hello and welcome to another episode of the Point to Rise podcast. I am so grateful that you tuned in today. So I just got out of 2 days of a very intensive, magnifying, incredible mastermind event that has completely filled my cup and gave me the most amazing gift. And I want to share that with you because it was so eye-opening. It not only for me, but I feel like it may just be something that you all need to hear today. So in masterminds, we get together, or in this particular mastermind, we have 2 live events, and this was our closing live event after 6 months of working with each other and supporting each other. And it was, I just found myself in so much resistance in around breaking through my glass ceiling, and I was sharing it in my breakup group, and one of our leaders, one of our coaches, actually stepped into the room and said, "Hey, listen, Sus, all I hear from you is that you are fearful, you can't do this, you are afraid of doing this, and you feel resistance here. And it's all about you. You. And that is not a place from where creation comes from, a place where we find the best achievements, where we can step into our higher self." And I had to take a step back and take that in, because what I first heard was that I was selfish. And I know very well that I am everything but selfish. And I had to really take that in for what it is. And man, he was so right. So right. And it opened up for me this permission that whatever we all are set out to do, yes, we're doing it because it's our purpose, and we're doing it because it brings us joy, hopefully, and it fills our cup. And then there is so much more to it. You are not standing on stage only because it makes you feel good, or your toes hurt, or that pump of adrenaline through your veins for those 2 hours and the high after it. That is not the only reason. However, we forget about that reason at times. And when we forget about that reason, we find ourselves in fear and procrastination and not wanting to asking for help and being in a lack mentality mindset. And that's exactly where I was 3 days ago. It was just, oh my gosh, why didn't I see that? That is like coaching 101. 101. And I didn't really see it on myself. And this is why every coach has coaches too. That's why coaches surround themselves with other people that can, point their fingers and say, hey, listen, you're not looking at that from the right perspective. If you look at it from this perspective, what does that feel like, and what kind of an outcome would you actually achieve if you would be changing your thinking and your perspective? Long story short, 100% gave me the permission to let go of all barriers, of all limitations, of all the fear that really were just about me. And yes, we are feeling that fear every day, and we have anxiety, and we live in procrastination, and we don't want to step into that new version of ourselves because we feel so afraid to fail. And let me tell you something. Failure no longer is something to be ashamed of. Failure is no longer something that you have to get down on yourself for, or be upset about, or judge yourself. Failure is a gift. Every failure we experience, every wrong step, will be a step closer to where you really want to go. So I am urging you, I am asking you to take time over the next couple days after you listen to this. Take the time and actually sit down and write out, what is it that you really, really want? What is your why? Why are you putting yourself through so much exhaustion, and why do you keep going back to the studio? Why is that? What is your why? And look really truly at the first level, and then go 4, 5, 6 more levels down. And knowing what's deep, deep, deep down there, that will help you. That will be your avatar, your thing that you can step into when things get really, really hard. When you find yourself doubting yourself, when you find fear sitting in the driver's seat, when you don't really know if you're going to make it. That is what you can tap into. And that is what that's what I am already tapping into. Otherwise, I wouldn't be sitting here right now talking to you about it, again, with no script, which is a huge deal for me. So I want to share a quote from a speaker that we had during the mastermind. His name is Anthony Trucks. Actually, 2. He said, action ends any kind of suffering. So if you find yourself stuck in fear, or stuck in doubt and shame, take actions. Understand where all of these emotions come from, and then take very deliberate actions on how to move these negative emotions into some more powerful emotions. And the second one, and I'm going to leave you with that, what promise did God make when He created you? You take that in, and you sit with that. That was very, very powerful. It was definitely a permission for me to think deeper on that. And I realized that, gosh, I don't want to have any more regrets in my life, and that is where it is so important to know what is your higher meaning. Like, what are the other things that will get you through the fears when they're showing up and doubling up and being very persistent. Thank you so much for listening, guys. I hope this gave you a little bit. When you have any questions, please feel free to reach out, slide into the DMs. And it would mean the world to me if you were to share your feedback and any kind of takeaways that you have on your Instagram profile or on your social media platform of choice. I would love this platform to grow far beyond what we see possible right now. I'm sending you so much love, and I can't wait to talk to you next time. Bye. Thank you so much for listening. If this message resonates with you, please pass it on to someone who needs to hear this right now. And if you like what you've heard, your feedback will go a very long way. If you just take 30 seconds and leave me a 5-star review, that would mean the world to me. Till next time, point at yourself to rise to all that you are capable of.